Hello and welcome back to the relaunch of this channel. It's been a while, however let's get straight into the point of the video and me explaining the fundamentals of science in Civ 5 and how to make the most of that value. Consider the fact I'm focusing the video for those who are playing on Brave New Worlds DLC, as some of these features aren't in the base game. So first things first, let's get the very basics out the way for the people who don't know. Science is used to progress through the tech tree. At the top of the UI, you can see how much science output you're having per turn. More science means fewer turns to get through the tech tree, making you more technologically advanced than the other civs. However, too few science will make you left behind the rest of the civs. Better science will give you better army units, buildings, and the first pick at wonders. You'll also see resources earlier and will grant you to travel through seas earlier as well. Most importantly, if enabled, victory through science is a possibility by building the rocket and being the first to get to space, which grants you the science victory. Okay, so now you understand the basic fundamentals on how important science is in Civ 5. But how do you increase your science output value? Firstly, if you're planning on predominantly being a scientific civ, consider which civ you choose before starting. Korea and Babylon are two main examples for directly and positively impacting science. However, read both summaries before starting to see whatever suits you best. However, other civs may indirectly impact your science as well. Now, going in game, which route of the technology tree would you rather go for? For a more science-based strategy, going for tech such as writing, education, scientific theory and plastics are great technologies to go for, especially writing, as you can just rush the Great Library from the start. The Great Library is a wonder which sets you up greatly as it gives you +3 science, 1 free tech, a free library and a +1 great scientist point. Keep in mind wonders are slightly risky as just rushing it will require plenty of turns to build, as it has a 185 production cost for the Great Library, which can be many turns when you're not developed enough. You got to keep in mind as well, building for the Great Library, there can only be one in the world, so you're going to have to compete with other civs to get that one first. However, there are other wonders down the line that you may get, such as Oxford University and the National College, which fortunately are both national wonders, so you don't have to compete to get them, and there's a few more wonders as well which you may be interested in. Buildings do contribute greatly to science, mainly the library, university, public school and the science lab grants a great amount of science, especially if you assign your population to have these buildings, which will make them far more effective. These are known as specialists. You can also get an observatory if you have a city adjacent to a mountain. Policies are a fantastic way of getting more science, particularly the rationalism branch, which gives you all types of different science boosts. Also consider which ideology you're going to choose. Read through them and decipher which ones you will prefer. Below I would recommend going for the order ideology, mainly because on the second tier you can unlock a policy which grants you 25% extra science when you have a factory in your city. Earlier, I mentioned Great Scientist points, which earning enough will grant you a free Great Scientist. Great Scientist points are earned by wonders and specialists. When a Great Scientist is born, you have two options to increase science. Firstly, you could choose to have a fixed research boost, which gives a big boost towards the science for one turn, or you can build an academy taking up a tile, and when worked on will grant you at least 6+ for science every turn. There are 3 different tiles which, when worked on by population, give you science. Firstly, the academy, which I just mentioned. Secondly, the trading post, giving you +1 science, however this needs to be unlocked through a policy on the rationalism branch. And also, if you build a university, jungle tiles will give you +2 science when worked on. And then finally, I'll quickly mention some other ways to increase science. 1 population contributes to 1 science for all cities, even puppet cities, meaning that, for example, 10 population is 10 science. Trade routes give extra science per turn. Research agreements give a fixed boost to science as well. You can also steal technology from other civs using your spies. As well, ruins can give you a free science tech. And there we have it. I believe that's everything to cover with science so far. Hopefully you know enough to beat out everyone with your new science skills. If this video was helpful, please leave a like or even a subscribe. They're both free to do so, and you'll catch up on the latest videos of Civ 5 on this channel. I'll see you on the next video.